Welcome to our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, like and share if you like our video. It's definitely very educative. Today we are talking about addiction, specifically drug addiction. But before we go to drug addiction, it's important that we know what addiction really is. Addiction is when you take a substance and you are completely out of control. You can't do without either a drug or a certain habit. That's why we'll categorize our addiction into two. We have got chemical addiction and non-chemical addiction. The chemical addiction will include addiction to drugs, alcohol, bang, and such. Non-chemical addiction will constitute addiction for food, addiction to a lifestyle, and many other types of non-chemical addiction. What are the stages of addiction? In this case, drug addiction. I'm very sure you are either affected or suffering from the addiction itself. You have to suffer either way. Either there's somebody you know who is suffering drug addiction, or you yourself could be suffering from drug addiction. Drug addiction comes in 4 stages. I want us to go through those stages. Stage 1, experimental stage. You just take the drug as an experiment. It's usually started by teenagers or a group. Maybe you go for a party and people are taking alcohol and you've never tasted alcohol and your friends tell you have some taste. So you take an experiment and you realize there's a change in the body system, either euphoria, either the feeling high, the feeling nice. It can stop at that stage, that you just take it for parties and for occasions. But some people go further and move to the next stage. That is stage 2. In stage 2, we have regular use, where most Kenyans are, especially the Nairobians. Regular use, such that I know every Friday, immediately after work, I'm joining with my buddies. We're going to take alcohol. We're going to eat nyama choma. So you become a regular user. When you become a regular user, you always look forward to that Friday. So it is very consistent. Unlike when you are just experimenting. When you are experimenting, it was just during that particular party or during that particular occasion. But you have now moved to being regular every Friday. So it starts getting into your system and you start wanting it every Friday. Your brain becomes conditioned. When will Friday get here? I go and have one too. As you continue taking it every Friday, the system becomes used to it. And that makes you move to stage 3. Stage 3 is dangerous. You now go to a stage called high risk use. That is a very high risk. High risk use is characterized by a don't care attitude, because now you have got very serious cravings. Things that you did normally no longer matter to you. If you are in a stable relationship and maybe your girlfriend told you, I would wish to break this relationship, it worried you. When you're a high risk user, you no longer care. High risk use will make you turn into even a thief. Initially, you never used to be a thief. You are doing all those things in order to get the money or to access the drug, because it is what makes you comfortable. You lose family. At high risk use, you lose family, you lose friends, you lose job, you become completely out of control, and you start living a meaningless life. At this stage, most people commit suicide. When you now get to the last stage, which is the 4th stage, it is called the stage of addiction. Very dangerous. Very dangerous because alcohol becomes now a disease. The drug itself now becomes a disease because you are completely dependent on it. You start getting, if you don't take it, you start getting the withdrawal syndrome. If you don't take it, you start shaking. Some people will even pass out. So this is the most dangerous stage. It's called addiction. And once you are at stage 4, you really need serious intervention. And actually that is the time now people come to intervene. But I would encourage everyone to try. Anyone who is next to a teenager, anybody who is next to a person who wants to experiment, you discourage it as much as possible, because it usually starts at stage 1. And you always think that you are in control. But the time you will realize you are not in control, you will really want to stop using the drug, but it will be completely impossible because you'll be in stage 4, the stage of addiction, where you want to stop but it is impossible, and now you want to do a rehabilitation. As I wind off our stage 4, I want to encourage you highly so that you watch out for our next video, because it will be talking about signs of addiction and also how to do a rehabilitation, because addiction is a very strong force that cannot easily be controlled. So in the next stage, we will be talking about the signs of a drug addiction or a drug addict and how we can go about rehabilitation. I hope this video has been quite educative, and I hope that you look forward to our next video. Dear ones, with all the love, subscribe, like and share tomorrow.